with a roundhouse kick that would probably make Chuck Norris jealous, please help me welcome to the stage our keynote speaker, Ms. Dana He.
Thank you. The world of Hollywood is a little bit different than the world that most people live in. I'd like to tell you about a car hit that I did for Nastassja Kinski on a little film called Bella Mafia. And I remember standing on the pavement with my yellow sundress, strap sandals, with the sun warming my back and glinting off the metallic silver bumper of the car, rapidly closing in on me. It approached much faster than I had envisioned it would, and there was a moment of sheer panic where I just wanted to bolt out of its path. But steeling myself to focus on what had to happen next, I took a step forward and bent my knees in preparation for the impact. And as the bumper of the car hit me and I lifted into the air, I turned my shoulder to land on a certain part on the hood. And I remember the whack of my body slamming against the hood, resonating in my ears for a moment, before I was slammed into the windshield, and then up and over the top of the car. There was a surprising and disorienting sense of peace as I spun through the air, catching glimpses of blue, then brown, before landing with a resounding thud on the side of the road. As I picked myself up and brushed the dirt from my clothes, I noticed one of the cameramen looking at me in horror, as if to say, "Why would you do such a thing? You could have been killed." And as I walked back to my mark to do the car hit one more time, I smiled to myself because I knew the answer to that question. I was smiling because I had just reinforced my Olympic discovery that if I could take one step forward and focus on what needed to be done, I could do anything, regardless of my fears, even stand in front of an oncoming car. What an empowering feeling. I swear it took me a week to wipe that silly grin off my face. Well, that's the feeling that I want everyone here in this room to be able to experience over and over again in your life. So today, I'd like to share with you how I can stand in front of an oncoming car, how I've been able to make my dreams come true, regardless of fears, regardless of obstacles, regardless of anything. Because the truth is that any of us can do it. All you gotta do is step up and take one step with courage. One step with courage. Doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to do, does it? But have you ever been so afraid to take a risk, too afraid to accept a challenge, too afraid to even hope? Have you ever been so afraid of failing that you couldn't even think of trying, much less succeed with something? That's how I lived my life for the first 25 years. Until I finally became so disgusted with myself for always running away from every chance, challenge, or dream that I gathered up what little courage I could find. And I took one tiny step towards my long-standing dream of winning an Olympic gold medal. And I took that first step, and I figured out where I was versus where I wanted to be. Then I took another step and started developing my strengths and compensating for my weaknesses. I set goals, I made a game plan, and I swore to myself, this time, no matter what, I would take this dream and make it come true. And if I failed, well, at least I would know it was not because I did not give it 100%. For once in my life, I would know I was not a failure. So right now, I have some very important questions that I need to ask every single one of you here. And I need to hear what you have to say. Do any of you here want to go through life feeling like a failure? No. Do any of you here want to go through life feeling inside like you're a coward? No. So what are you going to do when you want to get something done? Step up. And what are you going to do when you are met with roadblocks? Step up. And what are you going to do if you get run over in life? Step up. Well, guess what? You've already learned the most important thing about stepping up in life. Choice. That first step that I took to go for my Olympic dream was the hardest thing that I ever did in my life. But it changed my life because it taught me that if I can take that step, which seemed absolutely impossible, well, then surely I could take the next step, and the next, and the next, and the next. That single step, it always reminds me of that famous and fun movie series from Harrison Ford, the Raiders thing with the Holy Grail. What was the name of that? Indiana Jones, with the Holy Grail. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Well, remember in that movie, there was this scene with the Holy Grail where the keeper of the Holy Grail motions to a table full of dusty old goblets. And he says to Indiana Jones and the bad guys something like, there, on that table with many other cups, is the cup of life. If you want it, you just have to reach out and take it. Oh, you have a choice, and you must choose, but choose wisely. That lifelong feeling deep inside of victory or defeat, happiness or misery is in your hands with the choices you make every single day of your life. Believe me, I know. I used to choose poorly. I had all these negative thoughts in my head about who I was and what I could not do. The power of the mind is incredible, and it's our thoughts that control the choices that we make. So right now, I'd like to show you exactly what I mean by that. But this is going to take some physical coordination on your part. Negative thoughts can ruin your life. Believe me, I know, because they sabotaged the first part of my life. And in the realm of the stunt world, there are two definites. If you focus on the positive, your chances of success have just multiplied. If you focus on the negatives, your fears, you will fail. Failure takes on a whole new meaning when you're standing in front of an oncoming car. So the simplest way to step up in life is just by choosing to remain positive. So the next time that you get frustrated, angry, short-tempered, just do like us martial artists do. Take a deep breath. Let that negative energy go. Smile. Let's not fight. Let's have some tea. One of the other powerful things that helped me to step up in life was one of my training sessions back in the Olympics. I was trying to increase my endurance, my stamina, so I went to train in upstate New York in Binghamton. Woohoo! Okay. With Master Chung-Shik Choi, who was known for creating athletes with indomitable spirit. So we were doing a training session there where we had 2 rows, one holding a pad and the other row kicking it as many times and as fast as we could in a certain period of time. Well, as we were doing this drill, each time that I began to tire and slow down, the coach would kind of look at me. So eventually he walked over, took the pad from my partner and held it for me. And every time that I tired and started slowing down, he would yell at me to keep going. Well, about the 3rd time he did that, I just snapped. And I yelled back, "I'm trying!" He stopped. He lowered that kicking pad, looked me straight in the eye, and he said, "Try? Not good enough. Everyone try. Not everyone champion. Don't try, just do. Don't try, just do." Changed my thinking from I can't to I can. So I have a question for everyone here in this audience. What are you going to do when you want to step up in life and make your dreams come true? I want you to say to yourself, don't try, just do. I wonder if there's anyone in this room, and you don't have to raise your hand or admit it to anyone but yourself. Is there anyone in this room that feels maybe you have some kind of handicap or disability in life, something that makes it really tough for you at times, like being absolutely horrible at math and science? Perhaps you feel you're not attractive enough, or that you're not great at athletics. Maybe it's as simple as feeling like you just don't know how to loosen up and laugh. Well, guess what? That's how I grew up, thinking all of those things. And those thoughts really hurt me. They really brought me down. Sometimes I would get to thinking about them and I would get so overwhelmed, I didn't know what I was going to do. That is, until I discovered we don't have to let those handicaps or disabilities bring us down. The only time that they are going to hurt us is if we take them to heart and dwell on them. Fortunately, in my junior year of high school, I discovered a really fun and easy way to let all those negative thoughts go. And I'm going to show you right now because it's actually a lot of fun. I need you to get to your feet. And I need you just to say 4 words with me. And the 4 words are, it just doesn't matter. 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 Just doesn't matter. Woo-hoo! The thing is, it doesn't matter that we're not all perfect. It doesn't matter that we're not all geniuses or God's gift to athletics. What matters is that we keep our focus on what we are good at. What matters is that we keep our focus on what makes us special. I have to admit that sometimes we can get so mired down in negativities, day after day after day, negative, negative, negative. It just seems impossible to step up just seems impossible to be positive. But from life to Olympics to Hollywood, I've learned that no matter what happens to us, we can get through it. As president of the CHA, Car Hits Anonymous, I've had some of the toughest times of anyone here in this room, and I've learned to get through them just by taking one step at a time. So right now, I want you guys to rise to your feet one last time. And I want you to tell me, what are you going to do when you want to get something done? Step up. What are you going to do when you find obstacles in the way? Step up. What are you going to do if you get run over in life? Step up. And what are you going to do if your friends or your family get angry at you? No. No. You're going to stop. Take a deep breath. Just smile and say, let's not fight. Let's have some tea. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Hi.
Missy, thank you for sharing your message and joining us as we celebrate 81 years of stepping up and standing out at our National FFA Convention. You've inspired us to take action in our lives, and we thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please give another huge round of applause to our keynote speaker, Miss Dana He.
Thank you.